Hey, good morning, guys. It's Greg here from Tally Ho. I wanted to let you know we're going to start a new series, very unrelated to boats, mostly, because Tally Ho is sitting in a parking lot in Northwest Indiana at my marina, covered up for the winter, and I'm down in Florida at a little place in Southwest Florida that my wife and I bought as our winter getaway. Um, when I'm away from our home here in Florida, I'm always interested in keeping close tabs on her and what's happening with her systems and security and all that. And so I've been working on a home automation project that would allow me to better monitor what's happening in the home here. I have a similar setup in Indiana when we're away from our home there. And I kind of started on this home automation journey a little bit because of boating. I was doing some research for some boat projects, and a sailor had a system called Home Assistant that he was using to create different gauges and a display panel and things on his sailboat, running off a Raspberry Pi. And it looked really interesting. I have yet to incorporate that application on Tally Ho, but it got me thinking about ways to use this Home Assistant system for home automation, which is really what it was designed for. Home Assistant can run on, a little single board computer like a Raspberry Pi, or it can run on as a virtual machine on, some other desktop hardware. And I've played around with both. I'll let you know how I've decided to implement Home Assistant both here in Florida and at my home in Indiana. And we'll talk a little bit about the computer hardware requirements and things like that. We'll talk a little bit about a virtual machine. So if you're going to run Home Assistant on a Windows computer or a Linux computer, you will need to run it within a virtual machine. We'll talk about that. And then we'll talk a little bit about the Home Assistant operating system itself and what's unique about it and how it helps provide this automation. The fun stuff may be talking about the sensors and devices that are going to be used throughout both of my homes as I try to come up with creative ways to automate monitoring and security of my homes. Things like smart door locks, smart thermostat, so I can monitor the temperature in the house, but also control or change air conditioning settings, heating settings, things like that. Smart lights and smart switches. I like to have certain lights on in the house at different times of the day. In the old days, we would do that with a timer, and we'd set it to turn on every day at a certain time and turn off every day at a certain time. But today we can do that a lot more sophisticated ways. Smart plugs for different things. And so there's a lot of devices out there that will lend themselves to home automation. And in this little video series, we'll take a departure from boating and do some different types of projects. So I hope you'll join me for the journey. So Home Assistant is the application that I've chosen for my home automation project. There are other ones out there, but I think Home Assistant has a very active user group. There's a lot of development going on. There are a ton of different devices and automations and things that people in the community are constantly working on to improve or provide additional functionality within Home Assistant. So this is what I've chosen to use. Honestly, most of the devices that I am controlling with Home Assistant also have a native app. provided by the manufacturer. The problem I have with that is, if you were to look at my phone, I've got a ton of apps. I've got 2 different thermostat applications. I've got a ton of light applications. I've got door lock applications. I have all these different applications from different manufacturers for different devices. And I really would like to try and, get all this stuff working in a single application. And I think, too, that the program functionality, the automation functionality in Home Assistant will provide more opportunities to make these devices talk to each other, to do things dependent on each other. And I think the programming language just has much more flexibility and much more options. And so that's why I've chosen to use Home Assistant for my home automation project. So I hope you will join me for the next several episodes of our home automation project. Thanks for joining. Hey Google, turn off the family room lights.